Hi, welcome to Moina Bass Fishes, and I'm Jim Moina. So, the season is about to begin. Next week, 1 week from tomorrow, will be the first day of the MLF Toyota Series tournament on Sam Rayburn. That is in the Southwest Division of the Toyota Series. I fished the series last year, did all right. Happy with how I finished last year, so thought I'd give it another shot again this year. I want to get into that Toyota Series Championship and make up for the disaster that I really stunk it up at the championship there last fall. So want to have another go at it. So here we are. Drove down today and yesterday. Left yesterday. It was raining in Minnesota. Thank goodness it was just rain and not snow, because it would have been just crazy trying to get out of there in the snowfall, which I have done in the past. And towing boats through snow, even if you got four-wheel drive, is not fun. Just you got to be super alert, pay a lot of attention. Do not, whether you're towing or not towing, don't ever use your autopilot or your cruise control. Don't ever use that in snow driving ever, because what can happen is, if you don't know, it might sense that you're slowing down and then try to speed up, but if it's slippery, your tires might just start spinning then, and then you lose traction even worse, and things can really get ugly. You can spin out and end up in the ditch, or worse. So anyhow, so I left in the rain, got probably a little bit ways into Iowa before it quit raining. But then it got super foggy. I'm talking like, literally like an eighth of a mile or less in a lot of places, until I got about halfway down towards Des Moines, and then by then it was like just cloudy. And you know what? They had a tornado in Iowa yesterday. You never hear of tornadoes that far north in January. Really unusual. I didn't see it. I just heard about it on a news feed. So got through there. It was kind of a mess, but got through there. Thank God no snow. Got down to southern Missouri, Monet, Missouri, where I spent the night with a couple friends of mine, Tom and Sheila Jurianka. They've got a beautiful place down there. Got to stay there and wake up to breakfast in the morning. So really awesome. Thanks for the hospitality on that one. So then drove from there till down here. Got down around Rayburn, got my grocery shopping done, got my fishing license taken care of, got my camper set up in position. Had to deal with, you know what I did? While I was still in Minnesota, I actually, so I took my batteries out to keep them inside and warm, rather than sitting out into the cold temperatures through the winter. So, of course, it was warm enough. It was like 34, 35. So I'm like, well, I can put these in. I was going to just throw them in the truck and haul them down here and put them in. But I'm like, I'll just put them in Minnesota. And in the process of doing that, I put one of the batteries in backwards, and I hooked up all the leads. I ended up blowing fuses in my battery charger, which, by the way, I'm anxious to try out the new Minn Kota battery charger, which is installed in my new boat, which is waiting for a Mercury motor to be put on it. So I wasn't able to take my new boat. Luckily, I still have my old one. It's a 2021. I haven't tried to sell it yet, because I had a feeling. I've just learned, don't get rid of your old boat until you got the new one. I've learned that over the years. So anyways, kind of anxious to try that new Minn Kota charger. I got to thank Minn Kota for providing it to me. So that was real. It's a 4-bank lithium charger. But anyways, so I'm still using the Dual Pro charger in this old boat, and I blew out the fuses in it when I put the battery in, and then hooked things up. I put the leads on where I always put them, but the battery was reversed, so the leads were backwards. Blue fuses in the charger leads. And those are weird fuses. They're those little glass tube fuses. And I stopped. So I did, this would have been on Sunday night where I did this in the dark. And so I'm like, well, I didn't have any time to do anything about it then. So I'm like, well, maybe once I either get down here or on the way down, I can stop and just pick some up, right? Just go to a hardware store or whatever. So on the way down in Des Moines, I'm like, hey, there's a Mills Fleet Farm just off the highway here, off the freeway. So I go in the Mills Fleet Farm. They got all these glass fuses and all the other kind of fuses, but they don't have the right one. They didn't have the right size, nor was it the right. They didn't have any of the right amperage. It's a third, what they call a 30 amp AGX, and so I asked the guy at Mills Fleet Farm, I'm like, hey, where do I get these? Any idea? Or first I asked him, well, do you have any of these hidden away somewhere other than the whole wall of them over there in that aisle 2.2 or whatever? And he's like, no, I always go to Menards to get those fuses. So I'm like, Menards? Oh, that's kind of weird. Wouldn't think they'd have this, but so I go over to Menards. They had the fuses, but not the right size, not the right amperage. So then, from there, I decide that I'm going to go. Oh no, the guy at Mills Fleet Farm. Sorry, he told me to go. Yeah, because why would he tell me to go to Menards when that's like their main competitor? He actually told me to go across the street over to CarQuest. So I'm like, oh, it's just across the street. All right, I'll just go over there. Well, that's the guy. They didn't have him there at the auto parts store. So that guy told me, go to Menards. So I'm like, all right, I'll go to Menards. So I go to Menards. They don't have them. So now I'm like, all right, let's just go on my phone, Google, and just see what I can come up with. So then I'm like, oh, well, there's a batteries plus bulb store that's claiming they got glass fuses, and they're just like half a mile away, maybe a little more. So I'm like, I'll just go over there. Go over there. No, didn't have the right. They had some glass fuses, not the right one, not the right size. So now I'm 0 for 4. So now I'm like, okay, go back on Google. I'm like, okay, well, there's a Napa store about 3 miles that way. So, all right, I'll go to Napa Auto. Go there, strike out again. They didn't have them. So now I'm 0 for 5. So now I'm like, well, I saw a Tractor Supply. So I try to circle around to that, make the wrong turn. So now, and there's a lot of busy traffic on this road, and I made the wrong turn. I'm going the wrong way. So now I'm like, screw it. I'm not going to worry about it. But then I see O'Reilly's auto parts store as I'm trying to get back to the interstate. So I'm like, all right, let's swing in there. 0, none. 0 for 6. Not going to even mess with Tractor Supply. So anyways, at that point, what I did is like at some point, I think that was the point where I actually called the DuoPro charger people trying to say, hey, I just want to see if they had a recommendation of like, hey, what retail store could I find this fuse? And the answer I got from them is, one, it doesn't, I mean, the 30 amp AGX is preferred, but you just temporarily to get by, you can get a 30 AGC amp, which those are more common. Don't ask me what the difference is. I don't know. And also I did have some 25 amp AGCs in my possession. So I asked him if those would be okay. He said, yeah, those will probably be okay. They probably won't pop, but then he went on to say, you know, you can get the fuses that we sell with those units, that are installed with those units on those leads. We sell them in 10 packs. So if you go to their website. So that's what I ended up doing that night when I got to Tom and Sheila's. Is I ended up going to the DuoPro website, ordering a 10 pack of fuses, which cost like, was it $14 to $20 in shipping charges? And I just shipped it like regular, not overnight, not 2-day, just regular. And these fuses are, I mean, they couldn't have weighed more than, you know, a few ounces for 10 of them. And but anyways, had to have them. So I got them shipped here to the Double Hard RV Park where I'm staying. This is where I like to stay at Rayburn. The guy is super nice. The manager here is super nice to me. In fact, he was out here helping me get situated tonight and stuff. So appreciate that, Ed, a lot. And last year he helped me a lot too. So helped me with an issue I was having with the boat. So good guy, good manager to have around. That's for sure. Thank you, Ed. So, but yeah, here I am, and so what are my goals? This is the very beginning of the season. What's the goal? What is the goal? Why am I doing this? Okay, one reason why is it's a couple of reasons. Maybe I should make a whole different video on that of why I'm actually doing this. That'd actually be a good topic. So we'll push that aside. But anyways, I'm here at Rayburn now. Tomorrow, and there's no off limits to fishing these Toyota Series, so I can get on the water right away tomorrow and fish all the way up until the last day before the tournament. And but I may only get a half a day tomorrow because I have all my rods that I have to rig up, get the line on there that I want, get the lures tied up that I want. So there'll be a lot of monkeying around with that, and hopefully so I kind of anticipate not getting on the water till like maybe even noon tomorrow or so. I got to get my electronics set up the way I want, which they're still set up from last fall, so that really isn't too much of a job, really. I just got to get the right chip mapping chips in there, which I don't know. I mean, it sounds like it should only take 10 seconds, but once I sit down and start monkeying around with the maps, next thing you know, I'm just scrolling around the map, just daydreaming and looking at all the contours and trying to find some kind of mojo from the contour lines, and just dial in off the map. So that's just looking at those maps, and this never goes quick. But yeah, so we're gonna get out there. I got my fishing license, so that's taken care of. And I don't know. I've got this is a great lake. Rayburn's a fun lake. Remember last year, if I caught that 11-pounder, I posted that on a video. You won't see me actually catching it. You'll see me pulling it out of the live well, showing it off, and then releasing it right there. That was a magnificent specimen, my biggest bass on artificial ever. So that was way fun, totally unexpected. But yeah, so boy, that's about all I gotta say. Just happy to be here. The driving today, well, that was crazy. So I don't know if any of you know where Monet, Missouri is. It's in southern Missouri, somewhere between Joplin and Springfield. So, oh my gosh, I saw the most craziest accident. I didn't actually see the accident in progress. I saw the result of it. But anyway, so I plug it, I'm in the driveway. I plug in Double Hard RV Park, and it tells me to head south out of their driveway, which means I'm heading south. So it ends up take that route. I mean, the easy way it would have been to get back on, is it 44, Interstate 44, and head west through Joplin into Oklahoma, and then down. There's like some kind of tollway down through McAllister, and that's just super easy drive, interstate. But no, I listened to my Google Maps, and it just took me through like scenic roads, all the way through the rest of Missouri, all the way through Arkansas, part of Oklahoma, and it was just all windy, twisty, scenic this, scenic that, Ouachita National Forest this, Ouachita National Forest that, and up and down. My transmission's like my transmission's got like 306,000 miles on it. I'm sure it did not appreciate all these extra hills I was putting it through, when I could have just gone out through all this flat stuff, or relatively flat, had I just gone back to Interstate 44 and headed west and then south towards McAllister. But no, I just blindly followed Google Maps, which, I mean, it got me here, but not quite the route not the easiest for a lot of single lane stuff. But oh, the accident! Holy cow! This was like right out of Hollywood. There's a town called Cassville, Cassville, Missouri, and it was only maybe 15, 20 minutes south of Monet, where I spent the night. And I got to this intersection heading south, and there was a main cross intersection. There was a main crossroad this way, and there was literally like a dozen or more emergency vehicles, and I'm talking fireman type vehicles, police squad car type vehicles, ambulance type stuff, and multiples of all this stuff. And as I'm driving through this intersection, and all of it's off to my, what would have been my left, most of it. And what had happened is, or what, at least this is what I observed. I saw a tanker truck, like a giant tanker truck, that had plowed into this building on the corner, and most of the truck was actually like inside this building. Awful for those people, all those people involved. Just, and it was a beautiful day, beautiful morning. Have no idea how this could have happened. I have no idea if there were injuries. I can't imagine it was good. If there was people in there, oh my gosh. Anyways, that was, as much as driving as a cross-country driving as you do as a pro fisherman, you do come across some just wicked wrecks at times, and that was ugly. Oh, and then, well, as long as we're on the ugly part of what I'm seeing, then there was somewhere in Oklahoma by Broken Arrow, I forget, some town in Oklahoma, just outside of that, just south of there. What is that one? It begins with a B. Anyways, just south of there, man, there was just wicked tornado damage. The tornadoes must have gone through last year, maybe, or in the fall, maybe, because there was blue tarps all over all kinds of places, and I swear I saw places with just foundations, and trees that were busted up, and it wasn't too recent, but it probably happened last fall or something. I don't know, but yeah, just natural disasters. Wow, you just never know. You just never know what's going to come your way. So anyhow, that's enough for this video. It's just me going on and on and on about this kind of stuff. So anyhow, thanks for watching this video and other videos of mine you may have watched. I will keep you posted this week as far as how my fishing goes, my practice goes. I may keep a few secrets to myself, but I will share with you some things anyhow.